fencing for Croatia, was the man that knocked Carlos Lavador out, taking on Stef De Greef, both 26 years old. 6th place for Stef De Greef at the Washington Grand Prix a little bit earlier on this season. In fact, that was the last formal qualifier by points. De Greef came through Alexander Karl in the quarterfinals. By ranking, you'd have to fancy the Belgian, 43rd in the world, up against the world number 104 from Croatia. I'm Karim Bashir, and joining me for this live presentation is former international epos from Luxembourg, Liz Fouch. Liz, very exciting times here as we start the men's foil semi-final. What's the atmosphere like there in venue?
It's really great here, I have to say. I'm quite happy to see this. I participated myself 4 times in this tournament, and I think it's a very special tournament because it's so exciting to see. It's very emotional, and yeah, I hope to see some good matches now.
And we are now underway in the men's foil semi-final at this 6 tickets to Paris tournament, the final Olympic qualifier for Paris 2024 here in Luxembourg, featuring men's foil and women's épée today. And then we have 2 more days of competition where the final 4 places through the European zone will be booked. Now joining our traditional fencing audience, we are very proud to announce that Luxembourg Television are broadcasting this live as well. So we've got some non-fencers in the audience, so I hope all those experts will excuse me while I just explain briefly the rules of foil. Well, the first thing you'll notice is the silvery jacket. That's the target area. Arms, legs, and head are excluded from the area. And foil is what we call a weapon of convention. The referee is there to decide whose turn it is to attack, basically. If it is your turn to attack, you have an opportunity to hit the silvery jacket to score a point. Your opponent has 3 options. Get hit, not such a great idea. Run away and make the opponent's attack miss, or block with your blade, and that's called a parry. Now we have an early break in proceedings with the score tied up at 1 apiece as Petar Files from Croatia exchanges his weapon. So Liz, you've been here before, as you said. What is the atmosphere like? What is it like as an athlete to compete at this? You know, it's a sudden death qualifier, isn't it?
Yes, it is. The tension is very high because you know that being second or being third today isn't worth anything. You have to win the tournament, and that makes it very special. And you're nearly all alone because normally you are in a team, you have other colleagues with you, you have a whole bunch of people with you, and here you are the only one. Oh, nice one.
Yeah, only 1 fencer per country from those countries that haven't already qualified either by team or by the individual route are allowed to compete in this tournament. So it is very much a lonely place to be, unlike World Cups and Grand Prix where you'll have teammates around you. But the prize, should you get it, is well worth it, with a lovely attack there from the Croatian. And there's the example of the para riposte, and we get our first video review called by Petar Files. He thinks his attack has gone through. What are your feelings, Liz?
I don't think so, but the referees are looking very serious at the video. I can see them from here. They are discussing.
Each fencer gets 2 appeals. Yeah, and of course, as Liz says, the referees go to a video screen dedicated to this role where they replay the last hit, and they can play it at full speed and at various slow motion speeds as well.
Yeah, he's getting the point.
So that's a lost video for the Croatian. Fencers will fence periods of 3 minutes, broken up by a minute's rest. Just reaching the target there. Was super sharp lunge there from Felix, wasn't it?
Yes, very nice, very nice. Yeah, the Belgian is doing some more pressure. He's complaining now. He's asking for video. Yeah, he's giving the point to the Belgium.
After a lengthy review.
Yeah.
Well, forcing through on the remise that time. You can feel the tension, Liz, but these two are actually moving quite nicely.
Yeah, I think that at first time I thought that the Belgian that De Greef is a bit nervous, but I think now he's perhaps got his rhythm. We'll see how. Yeah. Okay, they're looking at the video. He's not sure. Yeah, the Belgian is getting a point.
It's very much coming from behind. And I think you're right, Liz. There was a little bit of tension, perhaps more so from Stef De Greef. And if you look at the world rankings, Stef De Greef is 43rd in the world. Petar Files, 104. Expectation might well be on him, especially seeing as he came 6th at the Washington Grand Prix just a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I'm sure it's for every fencer, it's a big dream to compete at the Olympic Games. No? And it's a lot of mental stress, such a tournament. Now his weapon broke, so he has to change his weapon. So you have to, the first 3 minutes are at the beginning. You always have to take a look how am I feeling and to come in to find your rhythm. And I think that now he's getting better and better. We'll see. Perhaps the Croatian, he can now also be a bit more on the piece, because I think he has more trouble than Stef De Greef.
Yeah, settled in nicely, the Belgian now. He likes that attack into the body, doesn't he? Little short,
Yeah.
sharp
Oh, yeah,
lunge.
yeah. He has a good lunge, that's true, yeah. He's testing the mask. Once again.
Yeah, very close that time. It's going a little lower to target and hitting the top of the front leg. And another one for the Belgian, looking very strong here indeed. Took a while to feel himself into the fight, but Stef De Greef just starting to break away with a 5-point lead. Referees again going to look at the video. So, Liz, you've been to this competition, as you say, 4 times before. You know what the pressure's like. You know how tense it is. How much does the ranking really dictate the outcome of the competition? Because when you look at Petar Files, 104 in the world, taking on Carlos Lavrador, who was the favourite,
Yeah.
he didn't even have to qualify through the pools, and he took him apart in the end.
Yes, I think that when you are the leader of this tournament, when you are the best ranked fencer here, it is very difficult to win the tournament. I've seen different people. Last time it was Olga Krivitska at Women's Epee, who was the best ranking fencer, and she did in Madrid the tournament so well. She wasn't nervous at all, and from the beginning till the end, it was a very good tournament of her. But I've seen Britta Heidemann also, who was in the year before in Prague, who was fencing against the Finnish girl Koch, and where she lost. And so you can have everything on this day, because it's so a special tournament. And that's fencing too, no? The ranking normally.
Yeah.
The ranking gives you an idea of how good the fencer is, but it's very unsure that the best ranked fencer is also the one who is winning.
Yes, it's very much on the day sport, isn't it? I mean, you know, the cream always rises to the top, but in a one-off situation and a pressure situation like this, as you mentioned, the doors can be opened to many, many other fencers, as was the case for Peter here, talking with his coach, taking out Lavrador, and that must have done a world of good to his confidence. He came into this fight, took a very strong lead, looked confident, looked like he wasn't so nervous, but Stef De Greef has come back at him in the first 3 minutes to lead by 9 points to 4. Target score of 15, and the referee is about to get the second period of potentially 3 underway.
Yes, it is really sad for Lavrador that as number 13 of the world, he won't compete in Paris.
Equally heartbreaking for him was that he was overtaken in the European rankings, of which there are 2 places through the adjusted Olympic rankings, as they're called. I don't want to get too technical, but he was overtaken at the very last tournament. He had been in an automatic qualification spot until that Washington Grand Prix.
Yes. Well, referees looking at the video again. I thought it would be for De Greef.
Yeah, it looked to be, didn't it? But I think that the referees have been spoken to before this, and they've been, said that this is so critical, so
Yes.
important. Please don't hesitate from going to look at the video if you have the very slightest of doubt about a call. But I agree with you. It looked like a nice little sharp carte riposte from De Greef.
Oh no. They give the point to the Croatian.
There you go. So definitely worth going to the video then.
Yeah.
Another para riposte, this time sticking for De Greef. Gets an
I've heard the coach of De Greef trying to reassure him. Yeah, it's the correct move he's doing, the right move.
We're just 3 away from a chance.
Yellow card for Files.
Well, some debate going on in the crowd towards the referee at the moment. Got to just crack on with the fight. And as Liz said, yellow card for the Croatian. Something a little different there from Petar Files. Just a slow step, eyes open, and then finished his attack. But because he started, it's his time. He gets the right as well.
It was very unlucky. He's trying his epi, but it's working.
The competition only open to those countries that haven't already booked a team or individual spots at the Olympic Games through the traditional ranking route. Each zone has its own qualification tournament, and each country that hasn't got a fence to qualify can send one per weapon. The winner of this one will take on the winner of the next semi-final. Jonas Winterberg Poulsen from Denmark and Alex Tofilidis of Cyprus. To be De Greef's, and that will finish things off. The referee probably will go and have a look at the video just to check.
Belgian crowd is already up.
Pour cette première place de finaliste. The first finalist is
Crushing defeat for Petar Files. He knocked out the favourite earlier on in the day, but Stef De Greef from Belgium goes on to compete in the semi-finals here in Luxembourg at the final European Paris 2024 fencing qualifier.
Yes, perhaps he will join Joloya, who has already qualified to the ranking in the men's epic. So he could